it's come to the point where being single is just a lot safer than dating, getting into a relationship, being in a situationship, or anything with anybody, because the way that these men are set up nowadays, the way that these men move about, the way that these men lie, cheat, finesse, use, abuse, mistreat, all of that, the way that they do that so openly and also without any remorse, without any care, like, what is going on? I don't understand. Like, nobody can convince me at any point right now that being in a relationship is better than being single. Nobody, because I am so at peace and content with myself. The only times I feel like stressed out is when I see what these women are going through at the hands of these men. Like, when I reflect on my past relationship, I remember the stress. When I see other women going through it in their relationship every day, the algorithm wants to show me stories of women who are going through it with these men who have been cheated on, who have been abused, who have been lied to. And it's just like, is there even a point of being in a relationship? I don't think anybody could convince me at this point.
Ever since being single, I've really realized how much people pity single people. Like, every time I say I'm single, everyone has to say, like, don't worry, you're gonna find your person, a man will come, like, don't worry. Girl, I'm not worried. I'm actually not worried, like, in the slightest. I'm actually really happy. I'm actually really free. I'm actually really enjoying my time. I'm actually self-sufficient. I can take care of myself. I pay my own bills. I'm actually good. This, like, weird idea that, like, don't worry, your life will start when you find a man is so weird to me. Like, my life has started. My life is thriving, actually. And when a man comes, sure, I'll be excited. Sure, I love, like, a little attention, don't get me wrong. But at the same time, I am not sitting here waiting for life to get good when I finally meet the one. You know what I mean? Like, I'm the one. Like, wait a minute. I'm the one, guys. We don't have to feel bad. So next time people say they're in a relationship, I think I'm going to be like, oh, don't worry. Don't worry. You'll feel that breath of fresh air again one day. Don't worry. Maybe you guys will break up. Don't worry.
I used to judge people for real earlier in my life about them saying that they are okay with being single, especially men. I was like, oh, that's just your excuse for, like, not wanting to commit and, like, you know, wanting to be a player, whatever. I used to always be like, ugh, like, I didn't like that mindset. Let me tell you, I love being single. I have been single now for a pretty long time. I've dated here and there, but my last major relationship I was in is why I moved to Kansas City, and that relationship was about 3.5, 4 years long, and it was a really tumultuous relationship. And I then took a break of relationships, and before then I was like a monogamous, what is it, a serial monogamous, is that what they call it, since I was like 15. Like, long term, like, I'm a boyfriend girly. Like, I had many boyfriends, 3 years, 4 years, then I was married, then after that another relationship. Like, I'm a relationship girl, and I loved it. I really did love being in relationships, but I have never felt so much peace in my life, and I'm not lonely. Like, I'm really not lonely. You know, the other night I was, like, with my dog, and I was, like, you know, listening to music, and I was reflecting about, like, some of the times that I've been the saddest, and those were the times that I was in relationships where I felt so lonely and not understood, and I felt like none of my needs were being met, and I was just only focusing on this other person, and it was so hard to balance, like, my own dreams with a relationship, to be honest. And right now, like, I'm 35, you know, no kids, no boyfriend, no dating, no prospects, nothing, and I'm so okay. And I've never also downloaded an app before. Like, I'm a millennial. I was in relationships throughout all that time, so I missed the Hinge boat. I missed, all that. And I'm tempted to download it just to see like what it even looks like. But since I'm like this far deep into never having to have those apps, like, I don't know, especially if I'm not trying to date either. Like, I'm not really trying to date at all. I'm just focusing on me, and I feel like that should be okay. And like, I don't know why so many people like feel the need to be in a relationship to then say that they're fulfilled. Like, oh, it's a lonely world. Like, man, I was lonelier in a relationship than I have been now. I don't feel lonely at all. I feel great. I feel like I can make my own decisions. I live by myself, literally. So now when I think about it, I apologize to all those dudes that I was like, you're just a player. And some of them were. But I remember having a discussion with a guy, and he was like, it's too stressful. Like, relationships stress me out, and I can't focus on myself, and I don't have the ability to like manage so much. And yeah, so I don't know, ladies, men, like, how are you feeling about being, if you are single, how do you feel about it? Because a lot of my friends who are in relationships are jealous of me. What does that say? What does that say about relationship culture?
You've just watched women over 35 speak honestly about being single, and not from a place of bitterness, but from peace, from clarity, from knowing themselves. Somewhere along the way, society decided that a woman's happiness should come with a deadline. That if you are single past a certain age, something must be wrong with you. By listening to these women, you can hear the truth. They are not waiting to be chosen, they've already chosen themselves. They know what they want now, they know what they won't tolerate, and they are not rushing into relationships just to prove they are on time. Being single at this stage isn't a failure. For many women, it's freedom, it's peace, it's waking up to a life that finally feels like it belongs to them. So if you are watching this and you are over 35 and single, or even just questioning the pressure, stay with us. These stories aren't here to convince you of anything. They are here to remind you that your life doesn't expire because you didn't follow a script.
I have never been more successful, more driven, and had more opportunities than when I've been single. A lot of you guys are seeing being single as a negative when in fact it should be the biggest positive in your life. Unfortunately, not all, but most men will really siphon that energy. Most women will put all of their energy into that man and making sure he's successful, he's taken care of, doing all of the mental and physical labor, leaving barely anything to elevate yourself. Since I have dedicated my time being single and not worrying about men, I have never had more opportunities. Like, literally, my inbox is flooded with opportunities, okay? And it is crazy because all it took was just that initial oomph to say, I'm just gonna stay single and focus on myself. Next time you find yourself in a rut and thinking you need a man and you're single and what are you gonna do? Focus on yourself. And literally, I'm not even kidding you, most girls get single and they glow up, everything goes right for them, okay? And I'm telling you, I can attest to this 100%. Being single is a superpower. I love you.
So in today's episode of 35 Single and Loving It, but I Still Have Human Feelings, last night I was on my way home from a girls' night out. It was about 1 a.m. And I had the sudden feeling that it would be really nice if there was someone to either call and check on me, make sure that I'm going to get home safely, or someone at home waiting for me, ready to debrief with me about my night. And I'm not going to lie to you, I sulked in that feeling for a moment. Being where I am right now, where I'm waiting for the Lord and I only want what He wants for me in my life, and I don't just accept anything or talk to anybody just to have somebody to check on me, I allow myself to feel those feelings, but I also don't live in those feelings. For me, that looks like letting an hour go by where I am fantasizing or I am wishing and I am hoping for what the future might hold. But especially if it makes me sad, I make sure that I redirect my thoughts to the positive, what I do have versus what I don't have. How grateful I am to live the life that I have, to be single, happy, and whole, and free, and able to live a full and fulfilling life without a partner. Because once upon a time, there were women who could not do that. But in the same breath, also say, Lord, this would be really nice. And I hope and pray that you have that for me. So yes, I'm not gonna lie to you. I dropped a couple of tears on this last night. But before I went to bed, I prayed and I said, Lord, I thank you for the peace. I thank you for the purpose that is in my life right now. And I thank you for this season. But I also thank you for when that season will change in your timing. Whoever that man is, bless him, Lord. Watch over him tonight and watch over me as I sleep in this bed and spread out as much as I would like to and wake up to a home exactly how I left it. I'm thankful for it all.
So I'm going to tell you the reasons why I love being a single girl, and it's genuinely not because I speak to boys, because I barely speak to anyone, because they're all fucking boring. But I'm just going to tell you a few reasons why I love being single. Do you know what's literally bringing me the most peace at the moment? Like, being able to go out with the girls and keeping your phone in your bag, knowing you've got no one to text. And, like, posting stories for yourself rather than, like, being like, oh my god, like, I'm going to post and see if he likes my story. Or, like, I'm going to post and see if he looks at my story. That could literally never be me again. Like, checking their following count. Checking their following, like, when I say, like, that is never happening again. If I ever like somebody again and I start doing that, my friends can literally disown me because that is so toxic. Going to sleep knowing that no one's lying son, I'm meant to be taking my makeup off, is not disrespecting you, is unreal. Like, going to sleep and waking up with no one on your mind. Like, not thinking like, oh my god, is he going to text me today? No. Also, like, I don't know what it is, but whenever I get into a relationship, like, I instantly, like, pull all my energy out and, like, put it onto them and worry about how they're feeling rather than myself. Like, I really dismiss all my feelings and, like, lose all my independence. And, like, I'm the most independent girl ever, but when I get in a relationship, like, I just lose all of that and I'm like, what am I doing? Like, I literally feel like I'm like a different person. It's so weird. I also feel like when you've been single for so long, I've been single now for 2 years, and honestly, like, I just can't imagine myself in a relationship. Like, I've got commitment issues, but not in a bad way, just like, I just can't imagine, like, even being in a relationship. Like, it would be so weird to me. I also feel like I'm just so busy, like, I can't imagine me ever having time for a boyfriend. Like, and I know that sounds really selfish, but I couldn't fit them into my lifestyle. Like, I work full time, I do social media as well, and, like, I need to make time for my friends, and I'm like, how would I make time for a boyfriend? And a lot of boys as well expect you to go to them. Like, every single boy I've spoken to from, like, a different city are always like, oh, when are you coming to see me? Like, literally never, hun. Like, you come and see me, do you know what I mean? Like, that's my rule for 24. If a boy says, when are you coming to see me? I'll say, you come and see me or don't see me at all. Because, ick.
You'll be in one relationship with a man, and that's it. You know exactly what relationships with men have to offer. That's why I don't think I'll ever have the urge to date again, because I know what I'm in for. And I have this, like, really morbid thought that, like, if I get into a relationship with a man and then I get stuck, because I'm the type to get stuck in relationship. If I get stuck for like 20 plus years and then I get sick at the end and then he leaves me, that's what my life was worth.
I'm 43 years old, and I've been single off and on for the past little bit more than 3 years. I talk about this a lot on here, but a lot of people say to me, what's wrong with you? Something's wrong with you if you're single at 43. And most recently, the last person that I dated, he was much younger than me. He said, my friends and family sometimes say, be careful because she's 43 and single for a reason. And when he said that to me, he said it with trepidation because I think he thought that that would hurt me, and it didn't, and it doesn't. Because I think for something to actually offend you, oftentimes it's because it's something that you believe about yourself. And that is not something I believe about myself, because I know why I'm single at 43. And there's a lot of reasons. But the biggest reason is that I was committed to somebody else for a very long time. And it didn't work. And that's okay. And that leads me to the sage. Now, it's been 3 years since that relationship ended, a little bit more. And it's not like in those 3 years I went out and was on dating apps and trying to like date whoever just to like have a man in my life. No, I took time to understand me and my patterns and my insecurities, and for me to build a confidence and a love for myself. Because no one can come into your life and give you fundamental confidence. That is something that you need in yourself to really be able to correctly love someone else back. If you are very insecure, you're going to be like that to the other person too. You're going to be picking them apart all the time because that's how you feel about you. So if you're single right now at any age, who cares? You should be if you are, because clearly there's time that you need for you to date you, and everything will happen as it should. And the other thing too, I am not on TikTok to find a man. I don't want that. I am on here because there is a stigma about people over a certain age that are still single. And I would like to provide some solidarity and maybe some insight for other people so they can feel more confident in their own single lives and taking time to understand themselves more and maybe take time to vet people a little bit more to find the right person. That's it. I'm not on here to find a boyfriend. That's weird.
Young single woman, take this advice from an almost 50-year-old woman who became a single mom at 35 and ended up getting remarried in her 40s and now has a blended family. Use me as your cautionary tale. I want you right now to romanticize your life. Be so good at loving yourself that anyone else who comes into your life and doesn't love you as much as you love you seems absolutely irrelevant. That way, you are never going to lower your standards just to be with someone. You deserve better than that. And your kids, if you have them, need to see you being loved better than that. How? Take yourself on trips. Buy yourself the good makeup. Put your sunscreen on first, girl. Make yourself a beautiful breakfast or a beautiful dinner, even if it's just you. Because when you love you, all of a sudden that whole scarcity mindset, desperation to be with a man goes away. Because you're so good at it. Why? Why would you possibly ever change your standards of the way that you're living your life because somebody else can't treat you as well as you treat yourself? I'm here. I'm your cautionary tale. Follow me if you want some more dating help so you can stop wasting your time and find the high-value equal partner that I know you deserve. Yeah, it is a lot better than being alone.
I am Lisa. I am 57 years old and I went on 145 first dates in 4 years. And I'm just going to come out and say it. The reason I went on all of those dates is because I desperately wanted a relationship. I had been in a relationship my entire life. So I just figured, well, it's a numbers game. After a while, I'm going to meet someone that completes me. What it actually did, it did the complete opposite. It made me realize I am complete without a man. In fact, if I took on any of the men that I went on a date with and I brought them into my life, it would bring me nothing but problems. Every single one, either there wasn't chemistry or brought issues to the table that I was unwilling to take on. And you can watch the videos. I think I'm up to number 51, and you can tell me, was I missing something? Should I have overlooked it? I think I know what you're going to say. But in the end, there are so many benefits to being single. I want to go through them because I feel like a lot of women are doing what I did, chase kind of the dopamine hit of, oh, I'm going to find someone, I'm going to fall in love, kind of that romantic version of what a man-woman relationship is. And I'm going to be honest with you, it never existed for me. I know there's going to be women in the comments that tell me it happened for them. Great. And it also was nothing but a letdown and problematic. So we're going to go through all the things that I am now loving about single life. And be careful, because if you experience single life, it's really hard to go back. I have been off the app since August 1st, and I have no intention of even trying ever again. There's no point. So first thing I absolutely love is that now that I am on an anti-aging journey, I'm kind of just focused on caring for myself for the first time. I go to bed with so many lotions and potions that I don't want to be bothered. I start with my red light therapy and my creams and my hair products, and the last thing I want is a man tapping me on the shoulder because he wants to have sex and then I have to take a whole shower and start all over again. No, I can do a spa night every single night. That's working out for me. Okay, second thing, on the topic of sleep, I know this is a big issue. I personally am of the belief at this point that partners should not be sleeping in the same bed. I mean, it just is not a full, healthy, good night's sleep. If the person is getting up to go to the bathroom, even if they're trying to be quiet, if the person snores, if the person is constantly asking for sex, if the person has different sleeping habits, I just cannot. And frankly, my bed is clean. I have white, pristine sheets. I love everything about going to bed by myself. I don't miss any of it. It was kind of a fantasy of what it could be, and it never really played out that way. It seems so romantic to fall asleep in someone's arm. Please. Okay, the next thing that I absolutely love about being single is that my career is no longer limited by someone else's career or the expectations of what I'm supposed to do after work. So follow me on this. Obviously, I had kids. It was my job to cook dinner, make sure the food was in the fridge, pick them up, work the schedules. What do they need? It was on me. So it really limited me and how much I could invest time and energy into my career. And I did fine. But now that I am single and the kids are grown, the world is my oyster, and it is working out for me. You can work and focus on yourself just the way a man could and raise yourself up and really be successful, and that brings so much kind of confidence and peace that I got this, I can do this. Nothing is going to hold me back like it used to. Okay, and then the last thing, I never had a hobby. If someone said, what do you like to do? I mean, yeah, I'd try to grab a book before bed. I mean, I had no time for hobbies. And really, doesn't that make you kind of a boring person? You're constantly waiting on other people and other people's, moods. Now I can learn to golf. I golf now. No, I'm not waiting around for someone else. I'm doing it. Pickleball. I can travel. I can do all the things I couldn't do before because, yes, I was limited by the responsibility of being in a relationship. And I think that they didn't have the responsibility. They could do whatever they want, but yet somehow it held me back. And I only see it now after the fact. I don't think I ever saw it. I think I was resentful, but I didn't know why. And now I know why. Listen, it takes a long time to get used to regulating your own nervous system. When you get home and you're used to a house full of people or a spouse, and you're used to counting on someone else to decide, what are we going to do tonight? What are we going to eat tonight? You got to get used to that. But once you do, it is heavenly. Enjoy your single life because this is the time to focus on you.
For many of these women, singleness didn't take away anything. It gave them space to grow without negotiation, space to heal without explanation, space to build lives that aren't constantly shaped around someone else's expectations. They talked about peace, not the loud kind, but the steady kind. The kind that comes from knowing your time is your own, your energy is protected, and your choices don't need approval. They talked about doors opening, careers growing, friendships deepening, confidence settling in, because their focus was finally on themselves. And that doesn't mean they are closed off to love. It means they are no longer willing to trade their peace for it. They've learned that companionship is beautiful, but not at the cost of self-abandonment. So if you are watching this and you are single over 35, or even just standing at a place where you are choosing yourself more intentionally, let this be a reminder. Your life is not paused. You are not waiting. You are becoming. Thank you so much for sitting with these stories. Stay with this channel as we continue to share honest conversations about womanhood, growth, and choosing a life that feels whole, with or without a partner. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below, and then like this video if this video was helpful.